Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about some football. The NFL season is back and I'm very excited. We're talking about basketball for a long time. So I'm going to do a tier ranking of the teams going into the 2023-24 NFL season. So for more content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I have my tiers here: contenders, pretenders, mediocre, bad, tanking for Caleb. Contenders, obvious. Pretenders, these are guys who are pretty good, but not going to win a championship. Mediocre, middle of the pack, bad, on the worst side of that. And tanking for Caleb means that they are abysmal. So we're going to begin the Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to put you guys at contenders. Cincinnati's been to the last two AFC championship games. They have one of the top three quarterbacks in football in Joe Burrow. They look like a team that's going to compete for a very long time. Joe Burrow looks like he has a little plot to him as well, so that definitely helps in terms of keeping them in contender status. So I do believe that they are going to be contenders for a while. New England Patriots, I'm putting you at mediocre. Your division's pretty hard. You're probably the fourth best team in your division. You're not a bad football team per se, but your quarterback Mac Jones doesn't really give a lot of confidence. So I'm gonna put you in the mediocre pack, probably a 7-8 win team. Going Saints, you're gonna join them. Derek Carr is not a bad quarterback. I just see like he has his issues with interceptions and turnovers. And the Saints, they have a decent roster, but I don't see. I mean, their division is pretty weak, so they can win their division. But if they win their division, I don't see them going much further than immediate elimination. Looking at the Steelers, and one thing I could do, I could ask. I'm actually add one more tier here. That's what I'm about to do. So adding the surprise team here, I think the Steelers have the ability to be a surprise team. People here, I think the potential for being a surprise team. I think the Steelers have a good shot. Kenny Pickett looked pretty good last year. The Steelers, obviously Mike Tomlin's a really good head coach. Don't have losing records. I think they can improve upon that. I think the Steelers can be one of the surprise teams. San Francisco 49ers, you are a contender. You're a team that's, always like on the cusp of it, but never able to succeed. They haven't won since the Cowboys, before the Cowboys' last win. So it's been a while since San Francisco, that team's won a championship. It's kind of crazy because they're always relevant and always doing well, especially these past 10 years, but they are a contender to reach the Super Bowl. The Cardinals, at this point, their roster doesn't look very good. They own the Texans and their own pick, so they're definitely trying to get Caleb Williams and hoping the Texans stink so they can get Marvin Harrison Jr. So, hey, they're definitely tanking for Caleb. Kyler Murray's pretty cool, but he's not the guy. Atlanta, I don't think Atlanta's going to be that good. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Atlanta's going to be a bad team. They have their quarterback, Desmond Ridder. I don't know. I haven't seen too much on him, so I can't, come really and tell you what he's going to be. But to be completely honest with you, I don't see them doing anything really. So I'm putting you at bad. I'm putting the Baltimore Ravens at pretenders, and y'all Baltimore fans can come at me. Lamar Jackson's a really good quarterback, but last year they kept blowing leads, and also he gets injured like the same time every year. So I think like the Ravens probably gonna look pretty good in the beginning of the season, and then some injury's gonna happen to him or something's gonna happen and they're gonna fall off at the end. So I'm gonna put you at pretender status. I don't think the Ravens are actually gonna they're gonna look like they could, but they're not gonna win. Buffalo is fighting between pretender and contender, because they do have traits of being a pretender at times, but they really have a great roster. Josh Allen has his turnover issues, but the fact that he generates so many touchdowns, it kind of like offsets that in terms of a gunslinger mentality. I'm going to put him at contender for right now. We'll see how he performs in this postseason. Carolina, I think Carolina will be bad. They have their quarterback, but I don't think they're going to be anything special. The roster isn't, really good right now. I think they just traded their wide receiver, the best wide receiver, to Chicago to be able to get this guy Bryce Young. So I don't see them doing much. And Chicago also, I don't have a lot of confidence in Justin Fields, so I don't think they're going to do much. Justin Fields is really good at running, but he actually has to learn how to be a better passer to actually make any noise in the NFL and not be a 5-6 win team. So I'm putting them at bad. Cleveland, they have the guy who plays there that I don't talk about anymore, and I think they're going to be mediocre. I own Cleveland's pick. I'm a Texan fan, so I hope Cleveland ends up being in the tanking for Caleb category so I can get Marvin Harrison Jr., but I'm putting them at mediocre. I don't think they're going to do a lot this year. Their division, they're not. I don't think they can win their division. So unless Deshaun Watson turned into 2020 Deshaun, I don't see it. Dallas Cowboys, I'm putting them at pretender. You Cowboys fans come at me as well. Like I said, there are moments they look really good, but then postseason happens, and they didn't really choke per se in this postseason, but they're not able to make real noise and make those deep pushes. And a big reason is because the quarterback position, Dak, hasn't shown that he has that in him to really lead them to a deep playoff run. They have a team that's good enough to make a Super Bowl run, but we got to see with Dak, if Dak can be the guy to lead them all the way. So definitely interesting. Denver's interesting because Denver can be in multiple places. They could be a contender, pretender, and surprise team. Because I don't know. I don't think they'll be a surprise. I think I'm gonna put you safely. I don't even know. I'm gonna put you a surprise team. I think the Broncos. I don't think it's that much of a surprise that the Broncos play well because Russell Wilson played crazy bad last year, but Sean Payton should come in and do his thing. So I don't think it's going to be. I don't know. I don't think it's a surprise, but I'm putting them as surprise. I don't want to put them at pretender because I don't know if they're even going to be in that pretender status. I don't know. I'm putting Detroit also as surprise team. I think Detroit can be really good this year. The wide receiving core is good. Jared Goff looked good out last year. The coach presents a lot of confidence. He's a very inspirational person. He got the team playing really well at the end of the season. So I think they're going to take that momentum into the next year and make some noise. I think Tennessee is going to be mediocre. I don't see the Tennessee Titans doing anything like special. I think their championship window closed. Ryan Tannehill doesn't really present any confidence in a league where there's Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going to put you at mediocre. Maybe win 7, 8, 9 games, but I think Jacksonville has the division on lock. Green Bay, I'm also putting you at mediocre. This is the first time in a long time I can say that. Actually, first time maybe in, it's a very long time. Aaron Rodgers not playing there anymore. I don't know what Jordan Love's going to do. So, it's definitely going to be interesting to watch the Green Bay Packers, but they ain't got no Jordan Love. So that's that. The Houston Texans, I'm putting you at bad. I'm putting that's a safe place, 5-6 win team. D'Amico Ryan's first year, we'll see how everything plays out. But the roster, there's still some holes. The wide receiving position is the biggest hole, but we'll see how that works. But I'm being realistic. I don't see the Texans winning. I think like 6 games is a good threshold. It's better than last year, and just showing improvement's good enough. But I don't see the Texans really like shining. But you never know. And I think the Colts join them. Like I said, both of them were in the depths of hell. So to go from a tanking perspective to surprise team or mediocre, unless their rookie quarterbacks go off, that's unrealistic. So I'm putting that bad. They're kind of like on that high end bad. Like they're mediocre, like between mediocre and bad. That's what I think those teams will be at. I think Jacksonville, I don't know if you want to say surprise team because they already made the playoffs. I'm not going to say pretender. I'm going to say surprise team. And what I mean by surprise team, I think a team that's like an 11-win team that just really plays well. I think Jacksonville, instead of winning a easy division, maybe it could change to actually being a truly good team. Like maybe instead of, okay, we just beat a division that sucks, let's actually win 11 games and prove that we're one of the better teams in the conference. So I think that is what I see from Jacksonville. Kansas City, let me put you right at the top. If you bet your money, any money, who gonna win the Super Bowl next year, bet it on Kansas City. They got the plot, they got the main character. That's all you need to know. I ain't gotta say nothing else about nothing. That's the main character, and I ain't saying nothing about it. The LA Rams are interesting. Matthew Stafford, I think, broke his back last year. I don't know if he's good this year. I'm also gonna put you as surprise. I think they could definitely come back to relevance. They still have a talented roster. It's just their quarterback was out. So if Matthew Stafford comes back relatively healthy, I think they could be a decent 10-win team. The Chargers, I'm putting you at pretenders. I think Justin Herbert just got a bag. He makes a lot of money. Good for him. And Justin Herbert's a really talented quarterback, but he gets a lot of flack, which is actually, well deserved because he hasn't won anything yet. And they got to prove the Chargers have bad plot. It's kind of in their name. They have bad plot. So they got to prove that they're actually worth something because they're a team that's going to look decent. They'll beat up on one of those good contender teams. They'll win one of them games. They'll play well, but then end of the season or postseason happen, things crumble. So I'm putting you right there. I'm putting the Dolphins kind of at pretender as well. I think the Dolphins, a lot of talent, a lot of speed, but Tua played well. He made good progression, improvements and all. but he has the concussion issue, and having your quarterback have health issues like that, I think the next major concussion, to be honest, he should retire because the concussions look scary, and you don't want to be like Antonio Brown. I swear Antonio Brown has CTE. I promise he do. So definitely it's better for your health. If Tua gets hurt again, I don't know. So I'm putting you at pretender. Minnesota, you are the king of pretenders. Had a really good season last year, but you just failed so miserably at the end. And it's just, a lot of close wins, comeback wins, and then they lost to the Giants. The Giants, I think, are going to be back to mediocre. I don't think, they had a good run last year. I don't think the Giants are about to go out here and win 11 games. I think they might win 9 games, 8 games, or something like that. I don't know if they're going to be like, oh, the Giants back in the playoffs. I don't think they'll make the playoffs this year. I just don't think they will. I don't know. And if they do, I think it's just an easy elimination. I don't know if you can replicate that success with Daniel Jones. I'm putting the Jets at pretenders. I just feel like the Jets, they have a feel of a pretender. They have a feel, the real texture of pretender. An old Aaron Rodgers. They have a talented roster, but there's something about the Jets that just like, you could feel it in their plot. It's like, there's something there. Just like, I know they're not going to be as successful. The Raiders, I think the Raiders will be mediocre. Jimmy Garoppolo on the team. Not a bad quarterback, but not anyone that's going to, light the league on fire. They play against main character Patrick Mahomes. Mediocre seems right. Seattle Seahawks, I think, could be a surprise team. They have a lot of talent. They had a good draft. Geno Smith was comeback player of the year. If Geno Smith just keeps playing well with the talent they've added, I think, the draft they had, I think they can, they made the playoffs last year, but maybe, they may win a playoff game, go a little further. You never know. Tampa Bay, things, I don't even know who's the quarterback for the Buccaneers. I'm putting you at tanking for Caleb. I don't know who's the quarterback, and maybe I'm missing something, but Tom Brady retired. So honestly, why not tank for Caleb? Like, there's no reason to play well. Like, lose it up so you can get Caleb Williams, bro. Like, come on. So, or the other guy, Drake May. Tank for Caleb. Eagles, you just made the Super Bowl. I think the Eagles could regress because that's very common for Super Bowl runner-ups. They do regress the next year. But we're going to put you here at contender because just for the sake that you played really well, had a good draft. We'll see how that progresses. And Washington, I'm putting you also at tanking for Caleb because the guy you have at quarterback, Sam Howell, don't think it hits. So we're putting you at tanking for Caleb. This is my list. These 5 teams are contenders. These 6 teams are pretenders. They're going to look good for a little bit of the season, but then fall off at the end. Surprise team, couple teams that can come out of nowhere and make some noise, maybe even either win their division or be very competitive in their division. I think they can win their division, actually. Most of them, at least. Mediocre, be a 7 to 9 win team, kind of just maybe miss the playoffs barely or maybe make it as a late seed and lose in the first round. Bad, these teams are like 5 to 7 win teams, not really doing much, but maybe they're young. Like, I think all 5 of these teams have young quarterbacks, so it's natural to be bad at this point and progress to see if you can move up and take it for Caleb. These guys, I don't know, their future is pretty sad, so go get Caleb Williams and recorrect yourself. This is my list. Thank you guys for watching. Ready for this football season. It's gonna be fun. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more NFL content, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.